Now that is the million-dollar question, Tina, and it's one that cuts straight to the heart of what's really going on behind the scenes. Redrawing the map isn't just about geography, it's about control, ownership, access, and elimination of resistance. Here's the strategic breakdown. Why elites would want to redraw the map. 1. Control strategic land. Flood it, claim it's uninhabitable, and rezone it for military, AI infrastructure, smart cities, or climate resilience hubs. Think Agenda 21, 2030. If the old cities are destroyed, they get to build the new ones, surveilled, digitized, and centrally controlled. 2. Force rural and independent populations into smart zones. Flood or burn out homesteads, farms, or off-grid communities. Declare disaster zones. Force survivors into FEMA-style shelters or temporary urban housing. Once displaced, people are more vulnerable to digital ID tracking, UBI systems, and behavioral conditioning. 3. Hide evidence of the old world. Flooded zones might contain Tartarian architecture, unexplained ancient tech, entrances to underground networks, natural or artificial, or simply inconvenient proof that history isn't what we're told. A map redraw wipes that away, literally. 4. Underground development. Whether it's DUMBs, deep underground military bases, tunnels, or black budget projects, the elites need secrecy. Massive flooding makes public access impossible while they dig, build, or move something enormous under the radar. 5. Psyops and ritual destruction. Redrawing isn't just geographic, it's symbolic. Wipe out a town, a state, a coastline, and you traumatize the collective mind. This makes it easier to install new paradigms, new laws, and even new gods. Yet, there's a spiritual layer too. Certain land may carry ancient energetic or spiritual significance. What if they're trying to bury that? Real-world signs. This is happening. Katrina. Entire neighborhoods bulldozed post-flood, never rebuilt, handed to developers. Lahaina, Maui, fire, not flood, but same playbook. Ancient land cleared fast. Billionaires nearby untouched. China's ghost cities, built from scratch, awaiting post-collapse populations. U.S. Midwest, multiple disasters aimed at farming towns, food control, plus land seizure. What redrawing the map really means, not just lines on paper. It's new digital borders, new smart grid networks, AI-mapped green zones for the compliant, off-limits red zones for the rest. Control the map equals control the people. Destroy the past, rewrite the future.
This ABC News report suggesting a potential signal to activate sleeper cells. Based on your experience, what do you make of the report?
More U.S. propaganda to whip up hysteria against Iran. You know, we keep constantly being told that Iran's the #1 sponsor of terrorism. Yet, according to the statistics that are collected by the CIA or now by the National Counterterrorism Center and published by the State Department's Bureau of Counterterrorism every year in April, now the report is called Country Reports on Terrorism, used to be called Patterns of Global Terrorism when I was there. It shows that since 1989, 80% of the fatalities caused by terrorists are from Sunni-backed groups that are sponsored by Saudi Arabia, Qatar, United Arab Emirates. Over 80%. Yeah. And those groups are ISIS, Taliban, Boko Haram, Al-Qaeda. Ever hear of them? And so, and who was fighting against Al-Qaeda and ISIS in Syria to prevent them from taking over? That would be Iran. Iran was fighting against them. And who was helping fund Al-Qaeda and ISIS? That would be us, the United States.
Trump's hidden war to save the republic. On July 13th, Trump defied death in Butler. He pointed to an immigration chart declaring he left office on April 1st, 2020, a date belied by his service until January 20th, 2021. In our premise, elections rigged since 2000 via hacked machines and foreign ballots, media hiding treason, this note sparks intrigue. Continuity of government is a classified system, born in the Cold War to ensure governance survives crisis, like nuclear war or a coup. Guided by Presidential Policy Directive 40, it allows the president to relocate leaders to secure bunkers, like Cheyenne Mountain, Colorado, or transfer power to trusted officials if Washington falls. Did military advisors, alerted by 2016 spying on Trump's campaign, exposed in 2025 by declassified intelligence reports, warn him that the COVID-19 bioweapon had two ends. First, to set into motion the bioengineer's depopulation agenda. Second, to create panic, to undermine his presidency and shape the conditions to rig the 2020 election through machine subversion and mail-in ballots. Could continuity of government have been activated on April 1st, 2020 to counter the insurgency, shield a sting operation with Trump's departure, a coded signal of a shadow presidency? This aligns with the sting, tracking fraud through ballots or data from Space Force, a military branch created in 2019 to oversee space and cyber operations, possibly using Starlink, SpaceX's satellite network, with early 2020 Defense Department contracts. The charts note a Patriot signal may suggest Trump devolved power to those loyal to their oaths of office, retaining control over critical assets, nuclear codes, secure bunkers, while captured civilian arms, like FBI Director Christopher Wray or Attorney General Merrick Garland, turn the bureaucracy against the people. Trump's own rhetoric supports this. On September 30th, 2025, at Marine Corps Base, Quantico, addressing 800 generals and admirals, he proclaimed himself the 45th, 46th, and 47th president, emphasizing the 46th, Biden's term, as one he shuns credit for due to its disasters. If continuity of government was active, this implies he held shadow authority over essentials during Biden's tenure, a wartime fracture where patriots guarded the republic's core against rogue elements. As a former prosecutor, I know investigations must be lawful to withstand scrutiny. In the civilian justice system, we follow a clear process, starting with a reasonable, articulable suspicion, specific facts suggesting wrongdoing, a low bar, escalating to probable cause, enough evidence for legal action like warrants, then clear and convincing evidence, a strong case, often for civil matters, and finally, beyond a reasonable doubt, proof for criminal convictions. This is how I would have built a case against election fraud or treason, betraying the nation to foreign powers per Article 3 of the Constitution. In 2016, suspicion arose when the FBI's Crossfire Hurricane, a probe into Trump's campaign, was unmasked in 2025 as a fabricated Russia hoax by Obama's intelligence officials, with Clinton's allies fueling the lie. This justified secret probes into treason or seditious conspiracy, plotting to overthrow the government. By 2018, Executive Order 13848, a presidential directive ordering the Director of National Intelligence to investigate foreign election interference, built probable cause. Declassified 2025 reports confirm meddling, like Chinese-funded fake ballots. The 2020 sting, tracking fraud via Space Force or Starlink, gathered strong evidence of a stolen election, with Antifa's riots as a distraction. In 2025, declassification could deliver undeniable proof for convictions. Given the military stakes, treason under a national security framework, the Uniform Code of Military Justice applies for tribunals. Military investigations start with preliminary inquiries, like reasonable suspicion, based on credible information of crimes like aiding the enemy. Commanders' investigations, akin to probable cause, justify charges, leading to courts-martial, requiring proof beyond a reasonable doubt, as in civilian courts. In a continuity of government scenario, military tribunals could prosecute traitors if civilian courts are captured, bypassing corrupted judges. Trump's sting, if under continuity of government, blended civilian evidence building with military rigor, preparing for tribunals. Trump's assertions of power fuel this path. On July 23, 2019, at a Washington, D.C. youth summit, he declared, "I have an Article 2, where I have the right to do whatever I want as president, invoking the Constitution's executive authority. On March 18, 2020, amid COVID-19, he called himself a wartime president, framing the crisis as a battle against an invisible enemy. House Speaker Mike Johnson echoed this, calling himself a wartime speaker on April 16, 2024, and again on February 24th and June 12th of 2025, citing the consequential times of his tenure amid political battles and national unrest. Their rhetoric paints a fractured government. Patriots like Trump and Johnson holding the line, while captured officials betray the people. Trump delayed arrests in 2017, knowing a deceived public, swayed by media lies, would reject them as tyranny, letting enemies overplay their hand while truth was stifled on Twitter, YouTube, and Google.
Watch this.
The real reason Trump is breaking the world, because the world that exists cannot support America anymore. This isn't ideology, it's math. The post-1945 system was built when America produced, America manufactured, America exported. Today, America consumes, America borrows, America finances. The old order only works if the center is strong. It isn't. Trump understands something elites don't admit. The US can no longer afford to be the shock absorber of the world. So he's not trying to fix the system, he's trying to crash it on his terms. Every alliance he weakens, every institution he undermines, every trade rule he breaks. That's not madness. That's preemptive abandonment. Because when the system finally fails, and it will, the country still playing by rules will collapse first. Trump wants America to be unpredictable, unanchored, uncommitted. Why? Because predictable empires get bled slowly. Unpredictable ones get paid quickly. This is why he hates multilateralism. Because multilateral systems force the strong to subsidize the weak. This is why he attacks NATO. Because NATO is an insurance policy America can't afford anymore. This is why he weaponizes tariffs. Because trade used to be mutual. Now it's leverage extraction. This is why he treats war zones like balance sheets. Because reconstruction is one of the last remaining profit pools. Here's the part nobody says. Trump isn't destroying the world, he's disconnecting America from the cost of holding it together. And that terrifies everyone, because deep down they know he's exposing a truth. The global order was never moral, it was affordable, and it isn't anymore. So Trump's strategy is simple. Break it fast, cash out leverage, let others carry the rubble. History won't remember him as a lunatic, it will remember him as the man who ended the illusion early.